Picture this. Your husband just died. You're in shock. You're grieving. You're barely holding it together. And then you need to access his bank account to pay the mortgage. But you don't have the password. So you call the bank. They say, "We need a death certificate." You get the death certificate. You go back to the bank. They say, "We need proof you're the executor." You say, "We didn't have a will." They say, "Then you need to go through probate court." 6 months later, 6 months, you finally get access to the account. In the meantime, you've been draining your savings, borrowing money from family, and praying you don't lose the house. This is a true story. This happened to a woman I know, and it could have been prevented with one simple thing: a list of accounts and passwords. I'm Lynn Stone, and this is The Flip Side of Death, the podcast where we talk about death planning so your family doesn't drown in chaos. Today, we're diving into the documents that will save your family over 500 hours of hell: birth certificates, beneficiary designations, and the one document 90% of people get wrong. Let's get into it. When someone dies, there are 15 essential documents that unlock everything. Without these documents, your family is locked out of your life. They can't access your money. They can't sell your house. They can't even claim your body in some cases. So let's go through them one by one. Document number 1, birth certificates. You need birth certificates for everyone. You, your spouse, your kids. Why? Because birth certificates prove identity and citizenship. They're needed to claim life insurance benefits, settle estates, transfer property, access pension accounts, and apply for survivor benefits. Where you should keep them is in your life and legacy binder. We'll talk about that later, or in a fireproof safe. Document 2 are your Social Security cards. Your Social Security card has your 9-digit Social Security number, your financial identity. Why you need it is to report the death to the Social Security Administration, claim survivor benefits, verify identity, and prevent identity theft. Fun fact: did you know that 30% of deceased people's Social Security numbers are used fraudulently within the first year of death? Protect these cards. Document 3, passports. Passport booklets and passport cards prove citizenship and identity. Why you need them is to handle international affairs if you had property abroad, repatriate the body if you died while traveling, close international bank accounts, or return personal effects if death occurred overseas. Document number 4 is marriage certificates. Marriage certificates prove you were legally married. Why you need them is to claim survivor benefits from Social Security or pensions, transfer property to a surviving spouse, access joint accounts, establish inheritance rights, and obtain passport documents for dependents. If you've been married multiple times, keep certificates for all marriages, current and former. Document number 5 are divorce decrees. If you've been divorced, keep the divorce decree. Why? To confirm previous marriages have legally ended, clarify financial obligations, determine ex-spouse rights to the estate, resolve disputes about marital status, and ensure assets are distributed correctly. Document 6, veteran documentation. If you or your spouse served in the military, keep your DD-214, which is the certificate of release or discharge from active duty, and any VA letters. Why? To claim veterans' death benefits, arrange military funeral honors, obtain a veteran's headstone, access VA healthcare benefits for dependents, and apply for educational benefits for surviving children. Document 7, retirement documentation. This includes pension plans, 401ks, IRAs, and other retirement accounts. Why you need it? To identify all retirement accounts and their values, determine beneficiaries, transfer assets to heirs, claim survivor benefits, and understand tax implications. Document 8, transcripts, diplomas, certificates, and licenses. These prove educational achievements and professional qualifications. Why you need them is to verify background, transfer or retire professional licenses, claim professional benefits, establish qualifications for posthumous honors, and provide a complete picture for obituaries. Document number 9, investment and brokerage documentation. This includes account statements, trade confirmations, and records for stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and securities. Why you need this is to identify all investment assets and values, transfer securities to beneficiaries, understand investment strategies, and prepare estate tax returns and provide info for probate. Document 10, mortgage documents, property deeds, and surveys. Mortgage documents outline loan terms. Property deeds show ownership. Surveys are detailed maps of property boundaries. Why you need them is to prove ownership, understand mortgage balances, transfer property to heirs, resolve boundary disputes, provide info for estate taxes, and assist in selling properties. Document 11, life insurance policies. Life insurance policies promise a lump sum payment to beneficiaries when you die. Why you need them is to identify all policies and values, determine beneficiaries, help beneficiaries file claims, understand special conditions, provide financial support, and cover estate taxes or final expenses. Document 12, beneficiary documentation. This specifies who receives assets from bank accounts, investments, and life insurance. Why you need it is to ensure assets are distributed according to your wishes, bypass probate, facilitate quick transfer of funds, prevent disputes, and provide clear instructions, and reduce estate taxes. Document 13, will or trust information. A will outlines asset distribution and goes through probate, which is public record. A trust avoids probate and remains private. Why you need them is to provide clear distribution instructions, name guardians for minor children, appoint an executor, reduce estate taxes, avoid probate, and prevent disputes. Document 14, a living will and medical documentation. A living will specifies end-of-life medical care wishes. This includes healthcare power of attorney and do not resuscitate orders. Why you need it is to guide medical decisions if you're unable to communicate, appoint someone to make decisions, ensure wishes are honored, reduce family conflicts, provide clarity for healthcare providers, and offer peace of mind. Document 15 is business documentation if you're self-employed. This includes business licenses, tax ID numbers, contracts, financial statements, and business bank account information. Why you need this is to facilitate business continuation or closure, ensure all assets are included in the estate, fulfill business obligations, provide info for tax filings, allow transfer or sale of business, and protect employees and partners. Those are the 15 essential documents. If you do nothing else, gather these 15 documents and put them in one place. Tell your partner where they are. That simple act could save them months, maybe years of stress. Let me tell you a story. A man died. He had a $500,000 life insurance policy. His will said everything goes to my wife and kids. Clear, right? Wrong. Because when he filled out the beneficiary form for his life insurance policy 20 years earlier, he listed his ex-girlfriend from college. And guess what? Beneficiary designations override your will. So his ex-girlfriend, who he hadn't spoken to in 20 years, got $500,000. His wife and kids got nothing from that policy. This happens more often than you think. According to research, 45% of Americans have never reviewed their beneficiary designations after their initial setup. 20% of life insurance beneficiaries are ex-spouses. And every year, $58 billion is paid to the wrong beneficiaries because people forgot to update their forms. Here's what you need to know about beneficiary designations. 1, they override your will. Even if your will says everything goes to my spouse, if your 401k beneficiary form says my ex-wife, your ex-wife gets the 401k. Number 2, if no beneficiary is named, assets go through probate. Even if you have a trust, if you don't name a beneficiary on your life insurance or retirement accounts, those assets go through probate, which can take 6 to 18 months. Number 3, if your beneficiary is deceased and you didn't name a contingent, assets go to your estate. Assets go to your estate, and then they're subject to probate and estate taxes. Number 4, naming minor children as beneficiaries creates problems. If you name your 5-year-old as a beneficiary, the court has to appoint a guardian to manage the money until they turn 18. That's expensive and time-consuming. Number 5, you should review beneficiaries after every major life event. Marriage, divorce, birth, death, buying a house. Review your beneficiaries. So here's your action step. This week, pull out every account statement you have, bank accounts, investment accounts, retirement accounts, life insurance policies. Look at the beneficiary designation. Is it current? Is it who you want? If not, update it. Call the company or log in online and change it. It takes 10 minutes, and it could save your family $500,000. Okay, so you've gathered your 15 essential documents. Now what? You need to organize them in a way that's secure but accessible. Let me walk you through the system I recommend, the Life and Legacy Binder. Step 1. Create a master binder. Get a sturdy 3-ring binder. This is your Life and Legacy Binder, divided into sections. Identification, which would include your birth certificate, social security cards, passports. Financial, which would include your bank accounts, investment accounts, and beneficiary forms. Legal, which would be your wills, trust, power of attorney. Medical, which would be living wills, healthcare directives, and insurance. Business, if you're self-employed. And for online-only documents, print summaries or key information and include them in the binder. Add a table of contents at the front that lists both physical and digital items and their locations. Step 2. Set up a digital vault. Choose a secure cloud storage service, Dropbox, Google Drive, or a password manager like LastPass or 1Password. Mirror your physical binder's structure in digital folders. Scan and upload paper documents, and save digital files in their respective folders. Step 3. Create a hybrid index. Develop a master spreadsheet that indexes all of your important documents. Include columns for document name, physical location, for example, binder section 2, digital location, for example, Google Drive in the financial folder and the bank account subfolder. Notes, for example, updated 1/2024. This spreadsheet is your roadmap. Keep it in the front of your binder and in your digital vault. Step 4, establish a digital time capsule. Create an encrypted file or folder containing passwords for all accounts, access instructions for your digital vault, a message for your loved ones. Store this separately, maybe on a secure USB drive kept with your binder. Step 5, regularly review your documents. Set a calendar reminder to review and update both your physical and digital collections. I recommend quarterly you check your beneficiary designations. Annually, review all documents and update as needed. After major life events such as marriage, divorce, birth, death, buying a house, do a copy. Step 6, share access wisely. Form a trusted circle of family members or close friends who know about your document organization. Provide them with access information, but do it carefully. You might give them view-only permissions to your digital vault, time-limited access they can only access after your death, a sealed envelope with passwords kept with your attorney. The key is someone besides you needs to know where everything is and how to access it. Now here's the most important part. Tell your partner where you're keeping these documents. I can't tell you how many widows have told me, I knew he had a binder, I just didn't know where. So after you create your system, sit down with your partner and say, here's our Life and Legacy binder. It's in the fireproof safe in the closet. The combination is whatever number. Our digital vault is on Google Drive. The password is saved in LastPass. The master password for LastPass is written down in this sealed envelope, which is in the safe deposit box at the bank. Walk them through it. Show them exactly where everything is. And here's a pro tip. Take photos. Take a photo of the binder on the shelf. Take a photo of the safe. Take a screenshot of your digital vault. Put these photos in an album on your phone labeled Important Docs. That way, if your partner is in a fog of grief and can't remember where you said the binder was, they can just look at the photos. Let me tell you about the document most people forget. It's not a legal document. It's not a financial document, but it might be the most important one. It's called the Important Contacts List. When my husband died, I knew I needed to notify people, but I didn't know who. I knew his immediate family. I knew his close friends. But what about his coworkers, his college buddies, his golf league, his fantasy football group, his old army friends? I didn't have their contact information. I didn't even know their names in some cases. So I posted on Facebook. I sent a mass email to everyone in his address book. I hope I reached everyone. But I know I miss people because months later, someone would reach out and say, "Hey, I just heard. I'm so sorry." And I think, I should have told you sooner. The important contacts list prevents this. Here's what to include: immediate family, which would be names, phone numbers, email addresses, physical addresses, include parents, siblings, children, and grandchildren. Close friends, the people you talk to regularly, the people you would want to know immediately. Employer and coworkers, your boss, HR department, close colleagues, include company phone numbers and email addresses. Professional contacts, your attorney, financial advisor, accountant, insurance agent, anyone who manages your affairs. Religious or community organizations, your church, synagogue, mosque, temple, community groups, and volunteer organizations. Clubs and associations, golf league, book club, fantasy football, gym, HOA, any group you're a part of. Extended family and acquaintances, cousins, aunts, uncles, in-laws, neighbors, old friends you've lost touch with. Online communities, gaming groups, social media groups, forums, people you've never met in person but consider friends. For each person or organization, include their name, their relationship to you, their phone number, their email address, their physical address if it's relevant, and any notes such as best friend from college or golf partner every Saturday. Now here's the hard part. You probably don't have all of this information. Your partner's friends, you might not have their phone numbers. Your coworkers, your spouse might not know who they are. So here's what you do. Sit down together and create the list together. You fill out your contacts, your partner fills out theirs. Then you exchange lists. That way, when the time comes, you each have a roadmap of who to notify. And here's why this matters. When someone dies, people want to help. They want to show up. They want to pay their respects. But they can't do that if they don't know. By creating this list, you're not just making it easier for your partner, you're giving your community the chance to support them. And one more thing, update this list regularly. People move, phone numbers change, friendships evolve. Set a reminder to review this list every 6 months. It takes 10 minutes, and it could mean the difference between your best friend finding out immediately or finding out 6 months later on Facebook. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates why documentation matters. A man died in 2018. His family went through his entire estate, bank accounts, investment accounts, house deed, car titles. They settled everything, closed the estate in 2019. In 2020, 2 years later, an insurance company called. "We have a life insurance policy for the deceased. We've been trying to reach him." It was a $250,000 life insurance policy from his employer 30 years ago. He'd left that job decades earlier, never told anyone about the policy, never updated the beneficiary. And the beneficiary? His ex-girlfriend from 1985. They'd broken up in 1987. The family tracked her down. She was shocked. She had no idea. She got $250,000. His kids, who could have really used that money, got nothing from that policy. If he had documented the policy in his life and legacy binder, updated the beneficiary to his children, told someone about it, his kids would have gotten $250,000. Instead, a woman he dated 35 years ago got it. This is why documentation matters. It's not about being controlling. It's not about being paranoid. It's about making sure the people you love get what you want them to have. So here's your homework. This week, go through every account you have. Check the beneficiary. If it's not current, update it. If you don't remember setting up a beneficiary, call the company and ask, and document it. Write it down, put it in your binder. Because $250,000 is a life-changing amount of money. Don't let it go to your ex-girlfriend from 1985. Here's a wild statistic. There's $70 billion in unclaimed property sitting in state treasuries across the United States. 70 billion with a B dollars. That's money from forgotten bank accounts, uncashed checks, insurance policies no one knew about, safe deposit boxes, old paychecks, utility deposits. After 1 to 5 years of inactivity, depending on the state, banks and companies turn this money over to the state, and it just sits there waiting. Here's the thing. 1 in 10 Americans have unclaimed property. The average claim is $892. The largest claim ever was $32.8 million in Connecticut. And it never expires. You can claim it any time. But here's the problem. If you die without claiming it, your family has to prove that they're related to you and have the right to claim it. That requires, you guessed it, documentation. So here's what I want you to do. Go to missingmoney.com right now. It's a free database that searches all 50 states. Type in your name, see if you have unclaimed property. I'll wait. Find anything? If you did, claim it. It's your money. And then, this is the important part, document all your accounts so your family knows what to claim when you die. Because $70 billion is sitting unclaimed. Don't let your money be part of that. All right, let's recap. Today we covered 1, the 15 essential documents your family needs. 2, the beneficiary mistake that costs $58 billion a year. 45% of people never review beneficiaries. 20% of beneficiaries are ex-spouses. Beneficiary designations override your will. Check yours, update them now. 3, how to organize your documents, physical and digital. You create a life and legacy binder, set up a digital vault, create a hybrid index, and establish a digital time capsule. Review regularly and share access with your trusted circle. 4, the important contacts list, the document most people forget. Who to notify when you die, update it every 6 months. The unclaimed property epidemic, $70 billion sitting unclaimed. Check missingmoney.com. Document all your accounts. Here's what I want you to do this week. 1, gather your 5 most important documents. That would be your birth certificate, your social security card, your marriage certificate, your life insurance policies, and beneficiary designations for all accounts. 2, put them in one place. A binder, a safe, a file cabinet, doesn't matter where you put them, just put them together. 3, tell your partner where they are. Walk them to the location, show them exactly where. Say, if something happens to me, this is where everything is. That's it. 3 simple steps, but those 3 steps could save your family over 500 hours of hell. Money is power, but only if your family can access it. Documents are keys, but only if your family knows where they are. Next week, we're diving into the conversation nobody wants to have. What do you want when you die? Burial versus cremation, organ donation, final wishes, the ceremony, inheritance. How do you tell your family what you want when you're not here to tell them? We're covering it all. Until then, gather your documents, organize them, tell your partner where they are. And remember, death is inevitable, chaos is optional. I'm Lynn Stone. This is The Flip Side of Death, and I'll see you next week.